welcome to another episode of Inside Rangers Football. Smithson Valley is 5-0 going into the bye week following a 41-24 win this past Thursday over New Braunfels on the road. I'm your host, Brian Freeman, alongside Rangers head coach Larry Hill. And again, coach, the win over the Unicorns, a game that had a lot of build-up anticipation. Both teams are undefeated going in. Both teams coming off of district opening wins, packed house there at Unicorn Stadium. And your team certainly lived up to the moment.
Well, you're right. It was a great atmosphere. Kind of had a playoff feel to the whole night. You know, a lot of media attention on it, being on Thursday, of course, on television, a packed house, and so yeah, it was a great atmosphere for high school football, and of course, it was a back and forth game there early on, and but we made enough plays to pull away and win, and you know, going into that bye week with a win, 2-0 in district, 5-0 overall, gives you just a good taste in your mouth going into the open week.
You made a habit of erasing early deficits over the past couple of weeks, and for the second consecutive week, your opponent scores on the opening drive of the game. You fall behind 7-0 early, and you responded literally immediately. The ensuing kickoff, Braden Mafitas takes it back 98 yards for a touchdown. He's turning into a pretty special return guy.
Yeah, you know, I thought the little ones, both the little ones made some big plays. Both Braden had a bigger game, but Kyler Clark as well. Mm-hmm. You know, both of those guys bring a special skill set to the table. They're both good, excellent kick returners. You mentioned Braden going a long way on a kickoff return that quickly negated their long touchdown drive, and of course he had a big punt return earlier in the year, and he did some things running the football as well. And both those little guys made some things happen for us, and have made things happen
mm-hmm.
for us all year long. And so, yeah, we're proud of Braden, but we have been. I mean, we'd be proud of him whether he made a bunch of plays the other night or not. But he was a big factor in the game.
Because of New Braunfels' opening scoring drive, and then your kickoff return for a touchdown, and then New Braunfels had another long drive leading to a field goal, your offense didn't really see the field until late in the first quarter. But yet they picked things up pretty quickly, scored 3 second quarter touchdowns, 21 and answered as you took a 27-10 lead at halftime. Right. What did you take away from the offense's ability to kind of pick things up despite not getting into the game right away?
Yeah, it was an unusual game. I think we had 40 snaps of offense. You know, we just didn't really have the ball a lot. Mm-hmm. You know, we didn't get a chance to run certain elements of our offense that we normally might. And then couple that with the fact that through kicking game and defense, oftentimes we had short fields mm-hmm. that we went down and scored on. So for scoring that many points in 41, as you mentioned, you know, we really didn't have just a ton of yards. And you would think 41 points, we got 500-600 yards of offense. I think we had 320, which is a nice night for 40 snaps. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they were chomping at the bit to get out there, and they went down there and, like as you said, and pop, and overcame a penalty on one drive especially, and that and our defense kind of tightened up some things, and we continued to make plays in the kicking game. Had another big play with a blocked field goal. So, you know, just a good team victory. You know, we didn't like the fact that they kept the ball and went down to score, but we responded. Mm-hmm. You know, we turned the ball once over on offense that we didn't like, but our defense played well, and you know, I thought the best thing we did as a team, not just offensively or defensively, but as a team, I thought we just kept answering challenges, mm-hmm. and then issued a few challenges of our own, and began to pull away a little bit in the second half.
So Derek Mata got the start at quarterback. He had missed the previous 2 weeks after getting hurt in the Madison game, an injury to his non-throwing arm. How did he look to you in terms of his comfort level?
Well, I thought he was very sharp, and you know, he and most of us were a little concerned about that when you play in a game of that magnitude, but hadn't really been in. You know, he played one or two series against Madison, missed the rest of that game, and then mm-hmm. the last 2 games. So that's a tough atmosphere to have to come back to just suddenly without a lot of experience. But threw the ball extremely well, made good decisions. You know, we didn't throw it around as much as we had intended to because. As we mentioned, we only had about 40 snaps, and mm-hmm. then the run game became really successful. And then in the second half, we're trying to eat some clock and keep their offense off the field. So we didn't give as many opportunities as he'd get in most games coming. But mm-hmm. At the same time, he did some special things. The deep throw to Dylan Domel was really, you know, had a lot of pressure and threw it on the run and and just dropped the dime in there for a 57-yard touchdown. So we're pleased with Derek, pleased with all our guys.
Again, Smithson Valley a win over New Braunfels 41-24. They are now 2-0 in 27 6A play. A number of big plays. You've already heard Coach Hill talk about them. A couple on special teams. Certainly some home runs hit on offense, and the defense stepped up as well. So with that, let's take a look at this week's Plays of the Week.
Let's go take a look. Our first play of the week comes after New Braunfels opened the game on a long drive and went down, scored a touchdown. We're behind 7-0, and we haven't even seen the field with our offense. New Braunfels, of course, kicks off as you would after a touchdown. You're kicking the ball deep down there, and Braden Bafidis, junior wide receiver, kick returner. You can see Braden there. He caught it on a 3, and he's already starting up to the right side here. Gets a nice block in there from Brock Whitaker. And another one right there from Eli Trawick, a couple of seniors doing well for us on special teams. And then sophomore Doug Lance gets a nice turnout block right there on their end man. And that allows Braden to get into that alley. And once he does, there's 2 guys to navigate, one from his inside and the kicker up high. Braden's got a snap-quick decision to make, makes that cut in between them, uses his speed, and the rest is history. And all of what they've done for most of the first quarter has been wiped out with a single play. From the end zone, you can really get a great look at it. There's Braden on the right side on the hash mark there. The ball's not actually going to get kicked there. You'll see as we go through it here. The kick comes down a little more into the center. Braden comes off the hash to pick it up, and off we go. And you can see we've got a lot of single blocks taking place, a lot of nice matchups. You see the whites covering the blue almost in 6-7 different areas there, creating a wall for him to get to the right. There's those blocks. There's Eli's block. There's Doug's block. And there's Braden hitting the crease. Excellent return, but he'd be the first to tell you he had some help. There's that cutback that we saw from the side a minute ago. And off we go. And we're instantly back in the game. A lot of football left to be played, but there's no question they had all the momentum. Their crowd was roaring, and suddenly Smithson Valley is energized in just a matter of seconds. Our next big play takes place a little bit later in the game. You can see New Braunfels down on 15, 16-yard line here. Has a chance to go in and score. It's a crucial 3rd and 5. We've got the lead, but they're threatening to pull even with us here. And we get a big play from a couple of seniors who are playing well. First, Diego Hamilton in there at defensive tackle. You can see he's powered past their offensive guard and is getting pressure. And then we're bringing a blitz off the corner from Wyatt Hanson, another one of our seniors. And together they combine for a big-time sack back on 31, 2-yard line. He unloads the ball, but it goes down as a sack. Just a big play by Diego and Wyatt. And, put them instead of a chip shot field goal and a long field goal, which we're going to end up blocking and returning the other way. From the end zone, you can see it. Diego's over the left guard. Wyatt's going to blitz from the right side on the outside. Those guys are noted with the arrows here. They'd had some success getting the ball down the field, but you can see Diego speed rushing and power rushing their left guard, getting good penetration. Here comes Wyatt unmolested off the edge. Kind of turns him back. He's trying to scramble right. Wyatt kind of turns him back to Diego. We're able to grab just enough of his jersey and kind of sling him down. Big play. And as you said, a play later, we block a field goal and go down and score again. Our last big play, focus on senior tight end Dylan Domel. He's got a circle around him here. He's closed in. He's attached to the formation. We get a little run-in fake there, a little hard run fake, and you can see all 4 of our receivers, including Dylan, initially going up the field vertically. Dylan then is splitting the safety and cornerback. Derek Mata, our quarterback, reads the coverage, but he gets a little pressure. So he's going to have to throw that thing not on schedule, not from the pocket. Moves to the right and then launches that thing. You can see he has to throw it on the run because of the rush, but he's able to do that and then just throws a dart. We don't get to see it all. This camera angle doesn't show the catch, but you can judge by the reaction of the sideline and the crowd how it came out on the other end. Dylan catches it, runs away from their safety, and takes it in the end zone. 57-yard touchdown. Gives us a pretty commanding lead going in at the half. From the end zone, you kind of see how the route unfolds. There's Dylan getting ready to get in a stance there. And we've actually got 4 receivers in this route. We fake. And Dylan goes down and across from the safety, and then we put another receiver behind the safety to the right and make him choose. Kind of keeps him in the middle and allows Dylan to break away. And there's Derek with the launch, and you can see the safety. There's the ball. The safety has actually recovered quite well, and not pretty tightly covered, but that ball is perfectly thrown just over the safety's outstretched hands. Dylan's able to take it, pull away, and get it in the end zone, and just another big play, and send us on our way to a nice halftime lead. And so those are our plays of the week.
So, Coach, each week you tend to take a play from each phase of the game. One on offense, one on defense, one on special teams. You had your choice on special teams this week, and you went with the Braden Mafita's 98-yard kickoff return for a score. One that we didn't show you was the blocked field goal. Second consecutive week, Malachi Lane has had a block on special teams, had a blocked punt in the win over Wagner, blocked field goal that was scooped up by Gavin Woods and put you in position for a short field, leading to a touchdown. What do you recall about that play?
Well, if you recall, we had the big sack, which we did feature, and pushed them way back out of normal field goal range. But, they got a good kicker, got a good leg. But a lot of times when they're cranking those long ones, they take just a little longer to get off. They want to be a little bit sure. And, there really wasn't any malfunction in New Braunfels' protection. Malachi just showed great speed off the edge. And, of course, we got the nice big hop, and Gavin took it on a hop. That doesn't always happen. These oblong balls don't bounce true. But Gavin showed a little burst there and got us down. As we mentioned earlier, that results in a touchdown, yet we only have to go 25 yards to get it. So not a lot of offensive yardage, but 7 points nonetheless, all set up by the kicking game.
Well, again, Smithson Valley 5-0 going into the bye week. We'll talk more about the Rangers in the off week as they get ready for the second half of the season, with Clemens on the schedule coming up after the bye. Back with more Inside Rangers football right after this.
Hey Fuller, does your dad insure this?
No, but if it was a car, he would.
Hey Fuller, what about this?
No, but if it was your parents' house, he would. Okay, listen. If it's auto, home, life, or business, my dad can insure it.
Ugh.
What does the new Experience IQ do on the GVTC Wi-Fi app?
Check it out. I'll be the parent and you be the teenagers.
What?
Malachi, get off your phone and study your playbook.
Aw, man.
Nick, are you learning about breeds of kittens?
Gosh, so what? I can't have any privacy?
Not with Experience IQ.
Miss Moore, what are you doing here?
Time to do your homework, Starfighter.
But I was-
Nope, homework now.
I don't like Experience IQ.
With the win over New Braunfels this past Thursday, Smithson Valley is now 5-0 on the season. How many times before have the Rangers started a year 5-0? Is the answer A, 10, B, 9, or C, 8? The answer is B, 9. The last time Smithson Valley started a year 5-0 was back in 2017, and the Rangers play for a 6-0 start after the bye week next Friday against Clemens. That's right, 9 previous 5-0 seasons make it 10 now for Smithson Valley, and again, the last one came in 2017. So, Coach, congratulations on the 10th 5-0 start for you.
Well, that's a good thing. It's best you can be after 5 games, and we got a lot to do between now and where we want to get to. But it's nice to be 5-0, and you go into the open week, you get a chance to bring the submarine up and poke your head out just a little bit, and when you've won right before the break and you're 5-0, the air just feels a little better going through your lungs. The food tastes a little better, and life is good. I mean, we'd make life good regardless, but there's no question we're feeling good right now.
Does the bye week come at a good time, do you think?
Well, it's a double-edged sword. On the one hand, as I said, you get a chance to decompress a little bit. We schedule in some time off, as well as obviously practicing and meeting hard. At the same time, you have won 5 in a row. So, you know, geez, I hope we don't lose our edge here. You know, lose our momentum. But you know, everybody in the district is off, not just Smithson Valley. So, you know, it's even for everybody. So we're gonna enjoy a little bit of time off, and then unfortunately we have to get right back to work against the team over there in Schertz that's playing so well.
So again, you're playing very good football. The record indicates that, but as coaches tend to do, they try to find ways in which they can be better. So as you look back at the first 5 games, in what areas do you feel there's the biggest need for improvement?
Well, you know, anytime you turn the ball over at all, it's tough, you know, and I think we're +4 in turnovers overall, so we certainly are doing well on that, but we've got to get turnovers down to 0. You know, you guys get nothing from us, you know, nothing that we're going to give you. You know, we've played some teams the last 2 weeks that have run the ball extremely well. We'd like to cut our yards rushing allowed down. If you can run the ball and stop the run, you got a chance to win. And you know, we've done that well enough on both sides. But we'd like to make teams more one-dimensional. You know, geez, we've got to throw it every down now because we have a difficult time running the football. And then also penalty yardage. You know, we cut it way down the other night. 1 or 2 were kind of eyebrow raising. Oh, I'm not sure about that penalty, but you know, just eliminating mistakes. I think penalties, turnovers, things that you feel like you're gifting the other team. We don't want to give any gifts. You want whatever they get, they're going to have to earn it. So we got a little work to do.
So you are one of 3 2-0 teams in district. Steele is up there with you, as is Clemens, a team that started the season 0-3. They've come back to win 2 straight. So some momentum for them going into their bye week before you host them here in a couple of weeks. And their last one came over Judson this past week. So what are your initial thoughts on the Clemens team you'll get here at Ranger Stadium?
Well, of course, historically, we've struggled with Clemens. You know, I think that we've had a more difficult time beating them than anyone around. You know, for whatever reason, there's always an opponent or 2 on everybody's schedule that, you know, gosh, we don't match up well with them, it seems, you know. Clemens historically has been a little bit of a thorn in our side. We won the game a year ago, but I think they'd won 3 of the last 4 prior to that, and you can trace it all the way back. So their style of play is problematic for us. You know, and then obviously they're coming in on a hot streak and winning 2 district ball games, and you know, beating Judson the other night. They're feeling good going into the bye week. So. But they run the ball extremely well. They've got a dangerous receiver that they're making a lot of plays with on the outside. He's a younger kid who they clearly are trying to feature now. And defensively, they've always been very tough and rugged up front, and they appear to be in that same mode again. Jared Johnston and his staff do a great job of coaching them. And so there's not really any apparent thing that we're going to get them on this, we're going to get them on that. It's going to be one of those struggles, and we're just going to have to make more plays than they do. That's what it'll ultimately boil down to.
It's still very early in the district season. There's still 5 games to go, but you look at the early standings, and there's some surprises there right now. 2 of the teams that made the playoffs a year ago are 0-2. Judson and Wagner have both lost their first 2 games. They're 0-2 along with South San. Yourselves and the 2 schools out of the Schertz-Cibolo area, Steele and Clemens, are 2-0. New Braunfels, East Central, each 1-1. I know you try to keep your eye on the district in addition to your own football team and the game ahead. Any early thoughts on how things have gone the first 2 weeks?
Well, I think we all tend to overanalyze wins and losses. Okay, you know, they lost, so they're down, or they're really on a roll, or Team A beat B, B beat C, so when A plays C, clearly they're going to win. You know, it's all about matchups and styles of play, kind of like we mentioned earlier. And you know, in this league, every game, every week's going to be tough. And you mentioned Judson. Well, they played New Braunfels and Clemens.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of people losing to New Braunfels and Clemens. You know, it's not hard to do. So they're going to be right there. We know that. And you could say that probably about a bunch of folks. You know, Wagner has played us in Steele. So, you know, when contenders play contenders, a contender is going to lose. And this is not one of those leagues where it's going to boil. You know, there's only really 2 really good teams. When they play, we'll find out who's first and second, but they're going to win the rest of the games. You just can't say that in this league. So it is a mite early to be peeking at the standings, but make no mistake, we're proud to be 2-0 because, you know, those are 2 over quality teams that are probably going to be in the playoff conversation. So if we ended up tied with them somehow for a spot, we would win because of head-to-head. So we're proud to be 2-0, but no, we got a lot of work to do.
So we know you're not wearing a headset on Friday. How are you spending your Friday this week?
Hard to say. Normally open week you go scout some people. Well, nobody in our league is playing. So I don't know. I'll have to check in with the boss lady and see what I'm doing Friday. But, there could be grandkids involved.
All right, well, there you have it. Miss Hill, you got plans coming up on Friday. Well, that's going to wrap up our show for this week. Again, Smithson Valley is on a bye this Friday. Up next, the Clemens Buffaloes in 2 weeks right here at Ranger Stadium. For head coach Larry Hill, I'm Brian Freeman. You've been watching Inside Rangers Football. We'll see you next time.